we've got the book Tar Beach by Faith Ringgold, and I'm going to show you exactly what questions to ask while you're reading this book with your kids so that you're getting the most out of reading comprehension. Themes developed in this book are freedom and empowerment, escaping limits, owning a future, family and community, strong roots, Harlem, society and class, economic struggle, and reclaiming power. So this book actually takes place in, I have to do the math, I think like the 1940s. And the message is pretty straightforward and also like super abstract. Okay, here we go. First question, integrate visual information. What details can the illustrator show better with pictures than with words? So the setting of this book is something that you might not wrap your head around if you didn't have the illustrations. So they're on a tar rooftop, thus the name Tar Beach. And the main character, oh my gosh, do we know her name? Is it gonna come to me? Okay, the main character is, really she's probably lying on this mattress with her baby brother or just like running around this rooftop, but she is imagining that she is flying. So through the illustration, we see the setting better. The fact that the setting is a rooftop in Harlem and it's a tar rooftop. And we see the imagination, the fact that this entire book is told through the imagination of this little girl who is imagining that she is flying over the city so that she can see things. And you wouldn't totally get that if it weren't for the illustrations. So it's a good check-in, like, where is this book taking place? Where is the little girl? Is she actually flying through the air? No, she is imagining it. And this is like everything that she's imagining while she's flying over. All right, next question, jumping forward, she's talking about the past here. Okay, central idea. What does Cassie want? Cassie's her name, I forgot. And how does she resolve to do this? So as she's flying over the city in her imagination, what she continually says that she wants is, well, she imagines that the bridge belongs to her dad because her dad helped build it. And she imagines, basically most of what she imagines is towards the prosperity and freedom of her family. Her dad helped build the bridge, so she's imagining that, oh, if I fly over the bridge, then the bridge is gonna belong to my dad. How does she resolve to do this? By flying over things. She's like, if I fly over it, then it will belong to my dad. So her flying around the city in her imagination is kind of like symbolic of like claiming things. Next question, key details. What specific details tell us about the setting? Okay, here we go. 1939 is when it took place because the girl says she is 8 and she says that her dad worked on the bridge in 1931, so that's when she was born. So it's 1939. They're talking about the George Washington Bridge and a tar rooftop. So the book takes place in Harlem in 1939, and all of those details are right there details that you can literally point to, except for the fact that it takes place in Harlem. You would have to just put that together. Or if you read the description of the book, I think it says there too. All right. Next question, she's talking about her dad in the Union. Could not join the Union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Okay, next question, central idea. What problems are the characters facing and how does Cassie plan to resolve this problem? Okay, so here we have, again, the themes of like freedom and empowerment developing, owning a future, society, class, economic struggle. So she points out that her dad worked on the bridge, but he doesn't own the bridge. He doesn't own a single part of the bridge. And she's like, if I just fly over the bridge, then it'll belong to my dad. Her dad cannot belong to the Union because the grandfather didn't. This is a race thing. So again, society, class, owning a future, escaping your limits, freedom and empowerment. She's like, if I just fly over the Union building, then my dad will own that building and then it won't matter if he's not a Union member because he'll own the building. So Cassie is resolving these problems of society and class, the fact that her family seems to be struggling to own their future, the limits, their limits of freedom, their limits of empowerment. In her imagination, she is resolving these problems by flying over them. Cassie's 8. Okay, next question, key detail. What specific details tell us about Cassie's bond and strong roots with her family? This is a good opportunity to pull out evidence. It's the fact that she knows a lot about her dad's work life. She knows that her dad worked on the bridge in 1931 when she was being born. She knows that her dad cannot be part of the union. She knows that her grandfather was not a part of the union. She knows that because her grandfather was not a part of the union, he cannot be a part of the union. So she has these ties to her family. She's 8. But she knows these things about the society and class and economic position that her family is in that is limiting their freedom, that is limiting their empowerment. So that's where she's got like the strong root to her family, because for an 8-year-old, she knows a lot about what they are struggling with. Okay, she talks about what would happen if they owned the union building. How wonderful everything would be. Key details. What specific details tell us about Cassie's family's socioeconomic situation? So this is her imagining that she flew over the union building and now her family owns the union building, so that's not an issue. What specific details tell us about their socioeconomic situation because of that imagination fantasy that she has? 1, they would eat ice cream every day. 2, her mom would get to sleep in bed like Miss Honey. So mom would get to sleep in, probably not have to go to work. She also says mommy wouldn't cry in the winter when her dad goes to work and doesn't come home. Her dad would be rich and would not have to stand on 24-story high girders and look down. He could look at his building going up. So she talks about these things that her family would have and be able to do if they owned the union building. And a lot of it has to do with socioeconomic class and economic struggle and being able to reclaim power, kind of eliminating their limits, owning their future, and owning their freedom and empowerment. But yeah, the ice cream, mom would be able to sleep in, dad wouldn't have to walk on girders, mom wouldn't cry when dad goes to work in the winter. Next question, character development. What does Cassie's behavior tell us about what she's feeling inside? So her behavior here, so she flew over the bridge, she flew over the union building, and now she's flying over the ice cream factory to make sure that they will be able to have ice cream at the end of every dinner. So her behavior is telling us that she has these dreams and aspirations connected to her family's socioeconomic status and her family's ability to have power and decision in their lives. So she recognizes the limits her family has. She recognizes their difficulty in owning their future. And she recognizes that all of this is due to economic struggle and the society and the class that they are in. So her behavior shows that she is seeking to break through this ceiling that is existing for her family, kind of like keeping her family where they are. She's fantasizing about breaking through it. If she could fly over these buildings and do these things, she would. But again, this is all her imagination. There they are back on the tar roof. Her family is actually just having dinner with some friends. She imagines that her little brother flies over with her, and that is it. So last question, what have we learned through the story and through Cassie's imagination flying over these buildings? We learn about the importance of freedom and empowerment and the limitations of freedom and empowerment and how socioeconomic class and economic struggle can cause those limitations for families. We learn about how those things can connect us to our past. Also, we think about, these are the struggles my father experienced, these are the struggles my grandfather experienced, and this is what I would do to eliminate those struggles so that we could break through whatever socioeconomic class ceiling seems to exist for us. So there's a lot to unpack in Tar Beach, and it's in a super simple story that is really just told through imagination. The themes again: freedom, empowerment, escaping limits, owning a future, family and community, strong roots, Harlem, society and class, economic struggle, and reclaiming power. And that is Tar Beach by Faith Ringgold.